ex smiled at my wedding, not because he was happy for me, but because he thought I lost. My best friend leaned in and whispered, "You could have been us." I looked at them and smiled back because they had no idea. I didn't lose anything. I upgraded everything. Story begins. My name is Claire, and 3 years ago, I was in love with the wrong man. His name was Daniel, or at least that's what I thought. He was charming, funny, the kind of man who made everyone laugh in a room, but behind closed doors, he made me feel small. Subtle insults, silent comparisons, emotional distance, and worst of all, he made me compete for love. Then there was Mia, my best friend, or so I believed. She knew everything about me, my fears, my dreams, my relationship problems. Every fight with Daniel, she listened. She comforted me. She was there. Until the day she wasn't just there for me anymore. She was there for him. The betrayal. I found out on a random Tuesday. A tagged photo. Mia and Daniel holding hands, laughing. Beach sunset. The kind of picture that doesn't happen overnight. It happens in silence, in hidden conversations, in betrayal that grows slowly. I stared at the screen for a long time, waiting for denial, waiting for explanation. But the truth was simple. They had been together behind my back for months, maybe longer. When I confronted Daniel, he didn't even look guilty. He just said, "You were too emotional anyway." And that sentence didn't just break me, it reset me, because I finally understood something. They didn't steal anything from me. They revealed who I was giving love to. Aftermath. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't fight. I just left. Quietly. Completely. I disappeared from both their lives. No explanations. No closure. Just absence. People thought I was broken, but I wasn't broken. I was recalibrating. Because sometimes losing the wrong people is how you find yourself. Then I met him 6 months later at a charity event I didn't even want to attend. I met Adrian. Not loud. Not flashy. Not trying to impress anyone. Just calm. Grounded. Real. He asked me one question. "Do you always look like you're thinking 10 steps ahead of everyone?" I laughed. And for the first time in months, it was genuine. We talked. Then we talked again. Then it became daily. Then it became something else entirely. He never rushed me. Never demanded explanations. Never competed for attention. He just stayed. And that was new. The difference. Daniel wanted control. Adrian wanted connection. Daniel needed validation. Adrian gave respect. Daniel made me question my worth. Adrian reminded me I had it all along. And slowly, without me noticing, I stopped healing from betrayal and started building something better. The wedding. 2 years later, I got married again. Small ceremony. No drama. No chaos. Just peace. But I made one decision. I invited them. Daniel. Mia. I don't know why. Maybe closure. Maybe curiosity. Maybe confidence. They came together. Of course they did. Still performing. Still pretending. Still believing they won something. Mia looked at my dress and said, "You really moved on fast." Daniel smirked. I guess I upgraded too. They thought they hurt me, but they didn't understand. I wasn't the same girl anymore. The reveal. At the reception, Adrian stood up, calm, collected, and said, "I want to thank everyone for being here, especially those who remind us what we're not supposed to settle for." Polite laughter. Then he continued, "Because sometimes life removes people from your story, so better ones can enter." He raised his glass, and that's when it happened. A lawyer walked in, handed me a folder. Confusion spread. I opened it and froze. Daniel's company shares. Transferred. Legally. To me. Mia's face dropped. Daniel stood up. "What is this?" I looked at him for the first time, without pain, and said, "You remember when you said I was too emotional?" Pause. I learned something after that. What? I smiled. I learned to stop investing in people who think I'm replaceable. Truth comes out. Turns out, while they were playing relationship games, I was building a career in finance law. And Adrian wasn't just someone I met. He was part of a legal restructuring firm that Daniel once tried to scam. Everything he thought he controlled was already under review. Mia whispered, "This is revenge?" I shook my head. "No, this is consequence." Final collapse. Daniel looked at me differently now, not as someone he left, but as someone he underestimated. Mia tried to speak, but nothing came out, because suddenly, there was nothing left to defend. No excuses, no narrative, just truth. Later that night, as guests left, Daniel approached me. "You planned this?" I shook my head. "No, I just stopped stopping my life because of you." He nodded slowly. For the first time, he looked small, not me. Him. Mia didn't say anything. She just left. Quietly, the same way I did once. Final punch. Adrian stood beside me. "Do you regret anything?" I looked at him, at my life, at my peace, at my upgrade, and said, "No, because I didn't lose my ex. I lost a version of myself